Hello and welcome back to Culinary Haven. We hope you've all had a great time during the festive season, and to start off the new year we've decided to bring you a hearty dish from the deep south of the United States, a classic dish from Louisiana, the jambalaya. It's hot and spicy and packed with flavors. We think it's a perfect meal for a cold January evening. Let's begin. There are two styles of cooking the jambalaya, Creole style and Cajun style, and we're actually going to combine the two. We're going to use Cajun seasoning mix called Slap Your Mama, but we're also going to use a tin of chopped tomatoes, which is only used in Creole style of preparation of jambalaya. It's just the way we like it. And now with the ingredients. We'll need 200 grams of smoked sausage, ideally andouille sausage, but if you can't get that, any smoked pork sausage will do. Spanish or Polish, we couldn't get it either, so we're going to use chorizo. 4 large chicken thighs, it will be about 500 grams, half a kilo. 300 grams of king prawns, peeled and deveined. 300 grams of long grain rice, 800 ml of chicken stock, and a tin of chopped tomatoes. And the vegetables: 1 green pepper, 1 yellow pepper, 4 sprigs of spring onion, 1 stick of celery, 1 large onion, and 3 cloves of garlic. And now the seasoning: half a teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme, half a teaspoon of white pepper, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of either Cajun seasoning, Slap Your Mama, or if you can't get that, you can use cayenne pepper or chili flakes, and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. About the seasoning, my family have a different taste. Some like it hot, some like it not. So I'm making it somewhere in the middle to please everyone. So it's not very spicy. So if you wish, you can double the amount of chili or black pepper and so on. And you can also add a few drops of Tabasco sauce. It's entirely up to you, the spiciness. And also I'm not using any salt because the chorizo is salty and there's plenty of salt in the chicken stock, and so is in the seasoning. But if it's not enough for you, you can also add more salt to your taste. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. We're going to prepare the jambalaya in a large wide cast iron pan, lidded, or Dutch oven. And we will start with heating the pan and then melting the butter and mixing it with the oil. Slice up the chorizo into chunky, about 1 centimeter slices, and fry it until the fat is rendered and the sausage releases its flavor and color to the pan and mixes with the oil and the butter. We'll start with preheating the pan. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. Give it a little swirl, and whilst it's heating, we will slice the sausage. And now I'm going to slice the sausage, just chunky slices. Some sausages are larger in size. These are small. I'm using 4. That's why I'm giving you it in weight, 200 grams. And on it goes onto the pan. We'll let it cook for a few minutes until we can see that the fat has rendered, stirring it, turning it. You can see that the color of the oil is changing because the sausage is releasing the fats and the spices in it onto the pan. As it's cooking here, we're going to chop the vegetables. Now I'm going to chop the vegetables. Start with the onion, finely chopped. The spring onions we're going to separate. We're going to use white parts for cooking and the green parts to garnish the dish when it's ready. And the celery and the peppers. I can smell the sausage, I need to turn it. As you can see, the sausage has rendered all this fat. There was only 2 tablespoons of fat when we started, and now there's plenty to cook this dish. Taking it off. And we'll continue with the chopping. The yellow pepper. And the garlic. Finally. That's it. In a very small bowl, I'm going to combine all the seasoning, all the spices together. Black pepper, white pepper, slap your mama seasoning, and paprika. Whisk it together. And season the chicken on both sides. We're going to use all of this seasoning that's in this bowl. So whatever is left in here in the bowl just now, we're not discarding it, we're just leaving it for later. And now we're going to fry the chicken on both sides, just to brown it. We're not cooking it fully, just to brown on either side. We'll cook it about 5 minutes on each side. When it's done, I'll tell you exactly how long it took. Now it's been 5 minutes and I'm going to turn it. I didn't mention it before, I'm doing it now. The thighs, the chicken thighs should be with the skin on and the bone in. So just browning the thighs on both sides and cooking them on the medium heat. And now as we turn them, we'll give them another 5 minutes to fry another. Then another 5 minutes and the chicken is now nicely browned on both sides. It's not cooked obviously yet, but we don't need it to be cooked. All we need is to brown it. And now we're taking the thighs out of the pan onto a bowl and set it aside. And the next step, we're adding the chopped vegetables. The onions, the celery, the peppers, the spring onions, and the garlic. Give it a little stir. Oh, that smell! Oh, heaven. And now we're going to cook the vegetables for about 10 minutes until they're soft and somewhat translucent. Now it's been about 7 minutes and the vegetables are cooking nicely, and at this point I'm going to add the spices, everything that we had left in the bowl. I'm sorry, there was a little technical problem there with the recording. After 10 minutes of cooking the vegetables, I've added the remaining spices, 2 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 800 ml of chicken stock. And now we're bringing it to a boil. And now we're going to put the chicken back in the pan. Turn the heat down, put the lid on and cook for 15 minutes. Now it's been 15 minutes. At this point, we're going to add the rice. The chicken and the vegetables are cooking nicely. And we're adding 300 grams of long grain rice, which is 1 3/4 of a cup. Stir it a little bit. And now we put the lid back on and cook it for 10 minutes on low heat. It's been 10 minutes and we're now going to stir it. If you feel that the rice is sticking to the bottom of the pan, don't worry about that, it's fine, that's how it should be. Just gently scrape the bottom with a plastic spatula or wooden spatula. And now we're going to cover it again and cook for another 10 minutes. It's been another 10 minutes, and as you can see, the rice has absorbed almost all the liquid in the pan, and we're stirring it again, scraping the bottom of the pan. We're nearly there. At this point, we are adding back to the pan the sausage. It's already cooked, so we just need to heat it through, and we're adding the prawns. Give it a stir. It's a perfect consistency already. Now we're going to cover it again and cook for 5 minutes. This is it, it's ready. What I'm going to do now is take the chicken thighs out of the pan, shred it, and then add it back to the pan. Then let it stand for 5-10 minutes and serve. We'll cover the pan and switch it off. And now we're going to shred the chicken. Using 2 forks, we'll take the skin off and discard it and just shred it. The chicken is very tender, so it's very easy to take all the meat off the bones. As you can see, there's plenty of meat to feed 4 people. And now we're going to put the chicken back in the pan. Chicken goes back in. Stir it gently, mixing everything together. Cover and let it stand for 5 minutes before serving. And here we are, the jambalaya, a one-pot wonder, garnished with shredded spring onions, ready to be served. Thank you for watching this episode of Culinary Haven. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, bye.